Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sit Down and Lock Down with me, Jeremy, and as always, a guest on the show tonight. Sorry, I'm so used to doing this at night. Today, it's the afternoon show. Today we have Adrian Saayman. Simon, you just told me that's how you pronounce it, Simon. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I take donations on behalf of the audience. On behalf of the performers. I'm really tired, guys. I'm very, very tired. On behalf of the performers, and the link is in the description below. If you guys feel generous and you enjoyed the show, please click on the link and donate. The donation box will stay open for the next 48 hours. So even if you're watching this after the fact, you can still donate until the 16th of May at about 11:30 in the evening. And with having said all that, ladies and gentlemen, apologies if you guys were waiting for a show last night. I was not feeling well. And don't worry, it's not COVID. I wasn't feeling well mentally. Feeling a bit, was angry, quite angry, frustrated. And just wasn't in the right mindset to do a show. So I do apologize for that. I will be announcing when I will be doing the show that I was supposed to do yesterday. We'll probably do it tomorrow, but I'll announce it later today for sure. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bring on my guest for today. I am very excited to have this guy on the show because he is a somewhat newbie, and I say somewhat because he's been on the scene for a while, but he's still growing and he's still learning, and he's a very nice guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome to the show the one, the only, the very funny Mr. Adrian Simon. Sorry.
Simon.
Yeah, Simon.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, buddy. Okay, cool. So let's get right into it. Tell us, is there anything that you are missing during this lockdown besides stage time?
I am missing not having to answer a video call. That's what I'm missing. Like, it's become like a normal thing. Everybody phones you. I haven't heard or seen you in since the World Cup in 2010, and now you want to video call me. It's like no, I miss not having to answer a video call. And I know saying it on Skype is weird, but just a random, but that's all set up. We set this up. We
Yeah.
made an appointment. I agreed to it. Don't just phone me randomly. No, and also I miss not seeing TikTok videos on Twitter. Like that's what I don't want to see. So it's weird. Like those type of things I miss. Not like weird. I don't have any weird cravings and stuff. I don't crave a KFC burger or a Big Mac or something. I just miss not having to answer video calls. That's the main thing for me.
You know what? You say that, and then I'm like, you know what? I also miss that.
Yeah,
Because it's not that I don't like speaking to people. Obviously, I miss my friends and stuff. But sometimes it feels like people have forgotten boundaries
yeah,
during this
exactly.
time. Like, it seems that they'll call at all hours of the night, or dinner time, you know, or they'll flip and wake you up, which is probably the worst one. Uh,
Yeah, the waking up one is the worst one. Crust is in your eye and you have your teeth yet, and you just look like I don't have any hair, but I mean, it looks weird. And then you wake up, and then it's like your phone's ringing, and it's like, no, man, not now. I mean, I think during the first week it was fun because it was
yes.
like a new thing. The novelty wore off for me very quickly. Like within the first 3 days, I was like, nah, bruh. Don't invite me to your house party because I don't want to play it.
It was like when people. You're right, because like when people. I remember at the beginning, like I was speaking to some friends, like, "Oh my word, this is so cool! See, lockdown isn't going
Yeah,
to be that bad. We can still see
yeah,
each other." Now everyone's angry and frustrated.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
it does.
I think the Skype calls and the video calls have changed very much in tone now.
Yeah, very much done. Like he's gone. Like oh fuck. Like, oh sorry, can I swear?
You can swear, buddy. This
I
is
was like
YouTube.
oh fuck again. This dude again. What do you want from me, guy? Send me a message. Text me. And I'll reply. Maybe I'll reply. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
weird for
it's
me.
people are embracing the new the way technology is now, but it's funny because we as humans obviously, if I'm in my place and you're in your place, we would still call. Like if I had to phone you for whatever reason or WhatsApp you, okay, WhatsApp is a bit different, but if I wanted to phone you, right, I'd maybe send an SMS or text quickly and say like, "Hey man, can I call you?"
Yeah,
That etiquette for some reason has gone out of the door. Like people are just like, you know what, I feel like calling you right now. Let's
yeah,
see what you.
like this, not like this,
Yeah,
like this.
that's true.
I mean, FaceTime, FaceTime, and I agree with you. Like the boundaries have just disappeared. Like what happened? I mean, like I think it's been replaced by like the social distancing and physical distancing is now video distancing. There's no like that's the kind of closeness people crave. I'm like, what? No, man. Just text me, then I can at least brush my teeth, and then we can chat. We can have a video call.
Yeah, that's very true. It's like a
Yeah.
very good point that you bring up. So
Mm.
tell us a bit more about you and your comedy. When did you start, and why did you start?
When did I start? I started about 3 years ago. I think everybody's story is
Okay.
about the same. So the first year, you don't really take it that seriously. You kind of, okay, cool, this is cool, but it's something I want to do, but I'm not sure yet. So you kind of play the field, and it's fun. You're having a good time. And so 3 years ago, I'm very active on Twitter, and I met Yasin Barnes at a work event. Some because I used to work for a big brand, and he was a host or an MC at the prize giving. I don't remember what it was, and he met me. I met him there for the first time. It's like, you're really funny on Twitter. Right? We tried doing it on stage, and then he said, "Yeah, just come through to the armchair." Where everybody starts in Cape Town. So I went through the armchair a few times, checked it out. Then I wrote five and I got booked and I got a place and I did my five and it went well. And I was like, this is actually quite fun. Yeah, it's amazing. And I was like, I was hooked from then. But it actually started way before that because I remember my cousin and I, we happened to get a VHS cassette. Like, I'm that old. We had to have VHS cassettes. Like, he had a VHS cassette recording with the original Kings of Comedy, Eddie Murphy's Raw and Delirious on one cassette. And we watched that video every day, like day in and day out. And he also like, and then once he had his appendix had to be taken out,
Hmm.
and then he was bedridden for like 6 weeks, and I still went to his house, and we still watched the thing every day. And I was like, and I thought to myself, but at that time, like there wasn't really such a thing as stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So I didn't know where to go and what to do and who to approach. And because I mean, watching the stuff on TV, like we started after that, we started getting Def Comedy Jam stuff
Hmm.
and old Richard Pryor movies and all those type of things. And then I became a DJ, and I was a DJ for a long time. And I did DJ at the casino, and they used to have comedy nights there. And I saw this. Stan Mars was the host, and they had Paul Snodgrass on
Nice.
and some other comedians. I don't remember. I just remember Stan Mars from Good Up FM, and I think Dalen did one show. Dalen Oliver did one once or twice. He was there, like just a quick each comic to 3 minutes on the bar at the club. That's what happened. And then I thought to myself, this is amazing. I actually want to move on from there. And then yeah, years later, like I said, I met Yasin, and he said try it out on stage, and it was just I just got stuck from there, and I got hooked, and the bug bit, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. You see, you said at the beginning of this. Oh, by the way, I might interrupt you just to address some of the comments. We have Beth Symes, who's become quite a fan of the show. Thank you, Beth, for tuning in. It's good to
I,
see you here. Thank you for joining us. Um, yeah, so you said at the beginning of your story that, oh, everyone's the same. You're wrong, dude. And I say that with love because your origin story, everyone has a different origin story, if I could put it
oh
that
yeah.
way. Yes, the path is the same because eventually you will get to armchair or you'll
Mm,
get to a open mic spot because
yeah.
like in Joburg they have their own open mic spots and like the box and stuff like that. And well, the box isn't there anymore, but when it was. Um, but it's always interesting to me, like you said, oh, I was watching comedy way back when, and then and then eventually I started doing it because I met you seen was it you seen Barnes, right?
Yeah.
at a corporate. It sounds like a
Yeah, it
work
was.
event, which is that I'm gonna be honest. That's the first time I've ever heard someone getting stage time for an open mic at a work function. An audience member at a work function asking the comedian, "Hey, where can I?" or a comedian telling him, "Hey, man, maybe you should." But that's interesting. So, what was it like the first time you were on stage? Like the very first time. Now you're at Armchair. You've prepared your 3 to 5 minutes. Tell us about that experience.
That was that was the best ever. I loved it. My first time was amazing. I enjoyed it so much because I invited all my friends to come through, and like you say, everybody's journey is different. I invited all my friends to come through, like people that know me from Twitter and Facebook, whatever. They came through, and everybody just, I think it was sympathy laughs. Even if it was, I had a great time. I had a great time. I thought it was just the best thing ever. I did my five, and I went through. I didn't. It wasn't even fully prepared. I kind of ad-libbed maybe 2.5 minutes of it, and then did 2 minutes of prepared material, and then from there it was just like my first time. I was nervous, obviously, because and that particular night, it was a Wednesday night. The room was actually quite full, and I don't know if people know Armchair. It's a very small venue,
Yes.
and but having a full room in Armchair, it's quite daunting because people standing along the sides, and so you kind of,
Sure. Was it that full? Damn.
yeah, it was that full, and I got some good laughs, and I enjoyed it. It was great for me. My first time was amazing.
Yeah. You're
Second
right.
time, but
Sorry.
go for it.
You're right. Armchair can be done. It's a very small. It's like 80, maybe 60 to 80, I think, comfortably.
Yeah,
And you can definitely go to 80, but I think 80s, that's when people are standing around
yeah,
and then it gets hot. Oh
yeah.
my word, it gets hot in there. And yeah, it's a different audience. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it gets hot, and the mic doesn't. You have to hold the mic because the cord keeps falling out. You have to hold the mic. And, but yeah, my first time was great, man. I enjoyed it so much because of that.
Mm,
Second time was horrible. Third
really?
time was even worse. So I don't know why I kept going back, but I love it so much. I was kept chasing that thrill
Mm,
and like chasing that laugh, and it it's just amazing for me. Like I at first I didn't understand it
mm,
because like I was like, this is the same thing I said yesterday. Why is it not funny today?
mm,
And but yeah, I just try and work on it and work on it and work on it. Yeah.
exactly. Question: the second and third time, did you have your friends? Did your friends come and support you?
No,
That's
that's the
probably
thing.
what happened.
Well, few of them did. There was a few of them,
You didn't have
but
your rent a crowd, man. Rookie
I
mistake.
didn't have my Instagram there, and that was my mistake. Yeah, thinking about it now, that was the mistake. I should
No.
actually take them with me wherever I go. But yeah, that the second and third time they were, I it was also at Armchair, and it was,
Yeah, it's rough, man.
I,
Look,
I,
armchair, I've always said like that's an interesting room. And a lot of comics say if your jokes work at armchair, they'll work at anywhere,
yeah,
anywhere, anywhere. But the same can't be said for if it works somewhere else, it will work in armchair. It's a very
yeah,
weird thing.
yeah,
Um, and I agree with that 100% because man, it took me so long to get a good night there. And I think it's probably the only night in my 10-year comedy career I've had maybe one really good solid night there.
mm,
And I may have been there maybe or gone there at least, I don't know, three, four, maybe 1,000. I don't know. A
yeah,
lot. I've gone a lot. And I mean, I'm not saying that I die every time, but you know what I mean. Like you get the
yeah,
really good night, and then you got your okay nights, and then you got death nights. I've definitely had a lot of death nights there, but I've
yeah.
had okay nights a lot. I've only had one good night, and that's just armchair.
Yeah, I mean, I at the time there was a time when I was doing really well at Armchair, and Gino Fernandez actually booked me for a Sunday, which was a big thing, like for a newbie to be booked for a Sunday at Armchair. But then I ended up dying on Sunday, which was horrible. I made the rookie mistake of going to a Sunday gig at Armchair with new material, and it just
Ugh.
didn't work.
Yes, it
Yeah, it
happens.
didn't work, and I didn't get the Sunday again, needless to say.
Yeah, it's a weird one, man.
Yeah.
I think the one good night that I had was on a Sunday evening with that
Uh,
big show. So
yeah.
that was fine. But open mics are interesting, man. But I think also open mics, I treat them differently now over the years. I really have a I don't give a fuck attitude. Like I really do. I mean, I appreciate the audience. Don't get me wrong. Like I appreciate the audience being there. I love the audience being there. I'm always nice to the audience. But I have an attitude. I don't know. Like it's like I'm gonna say this shit, and I know it's probably not gonna work, but I'm gonna say it anyway because I'm working on it. So you
Yeah,
guys must just thank you for coming, but just bear with me.
yeah.
That kind of vibe, which I think is I don't know. I find like it's weird, man, because like I feel like when I'm in an open mic setting, I'm a lot more confident, oddly
Mm.
enough. But when I'm doing my material, like the normal material, I'm still confident, but it's a different kind of confidence. It's like a confidence that I know this works, blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Maybe it's cocky. That's the difference. Like the one I'm cocky, the one I'm not so cocky. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. I get it. I totally understand. It's the same with me. Like, and that I realized that maybe in the past year or so that I've been doing comedy, that this is something that I'm working on. It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to
No.
just come together.
Yeah.
So it's a process, and the creative process needs to work and needs to work and needs to work. So if you're going on stage with new material at the open mic night, it's probably not going to work. The chances of it working is, I don't know what the odds are, but it's not going to work the first time. And just have to push through and I started recording my sets as well
Good.
about a year ago. So I'm not my comedy maturity has got to that level where I listen to things back, and I'm standing on stage, or what body language I'm showing, because it's not only just you speaking. It's
No.
such a lot that goes into it,
Yeah.
and at first I didn't know it, and I know it now, or I've learned it now. So yeah.
Yeah. You said something now that I wanted to touch on, and now I forgot because I got distracted because I was thinking about because you you mentioned that you record yourself now, which I definitely commend you for. Anybody that goes onto stage, even if it's your first time, record yourself
Yeah.
because comedians sometimes will come to you and say, "Oh man, you should have tried this, or you just need to work on that, or next time try this." And then you can go to that recording and be like, okay, I see what
Yeah.
they said. That was my mistake. So you need much like rugby players or NFL players will watch their game recording again to see where they
Mm.
made a mistake. It's the same with comedy.
Yeah.
Constantly, you then become a director almost. So you're like, just I could have performed this better.
Yeah.
I could have added an accent here. I could have done this. I could have done that. And you just work it, and you're right. Um, I think a lot of newbies think that they're going to get 5 minutes and then they're going to become famous and become Trevor Noah, which is definitely not how it works. The industry will
No.
chew you up and spit you out if you think that way. Very, very quickly, you will be put in your place. And when I say put in your place, I don't mean like a child. I mean like we'll tell you like
Yeah.
hey, calm down. Like
Yeah. The industry will humble you very quickly.
yes.
And that happened to me. I got like after that Sunday, like there was I went back and I did some new thing and I got booked for other gigs and I was really funny. And like I think Brent Palmer told me one day, like, yeah, you're a funny dude. You kind of got it. And I got a bit cocky and I stopped preparing. I just started
Oh
ad-libbing. And it was I just oh died on my ass every time. And I got humbled so fast.
yeah.
And it was like, no, man, I'm doing something wrong here. And I had to go back to like, and I didn't record anything. I just went on stage, too many beers,
Oh
too
no.
many blunts, and I just went on and I was like, I can do this shit, man. I was told I'm funny. And then I wasn't. What I was knocked like when your feet gets knocked out under you very quickly. You fall
Yeah.
up your face and you're like, oh shit, what now? And do I continue with this thing, or do I just quit while I'm down? Not while you're ahead, while I'm do I quit while I'm on the floor?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what can happen. And I mean, like, I think what can also happen is like if you like, I remember once, Riyad Musa actually walked into Armchair unannounced. Is
Yeah,
what like he and that sometimes happens. That's the nice thing about Armchair. Sometimes the Stuart Taylors, Nick Rabinowitz, even Kurt Conrad, they all, even John Blismus, if they're in town, will come by and they'll just unannounced just come in do a bit. And I remember once Riyad was preparing for his upcoming one man show at the Baxter, and so he just wanted some stage time to practice. and I'll never forget like what I was watching. I was watching a man that definitely had his comedy brain exercised. And
Mm.
what I mean by that is he's been doing it for so long that his process now has gotten to the point of he needs to be on stage to
Yeah,
write his material, which
yeah,
I think is a level of expert that I aspire to. I mean, we all do aspire to
yeah,
get to, because when you can get on stage, be confident, and just riff,
yeah.
like that's amazing. And he was recording it, obviously, so he goes on stage, and that is like next level, because when you write in your room,
Mm.
you're writing it, you think it's funny, but you don't have an audience immediately to test it
Yeah.
on. Whereas he's gotten to that level of confidence where he's like, cool, I'm gonna go on. People know who I am. People know what I'm saying. People know it's an open mic,
Mm.
and these are my thoughts. And
Yeah.
he just fucking went, and it was funny, dude. It was like that's the thing. That's the thing that really got me. It was funny, like it was crazy funny, and he was just trying material.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, if this is his like is his prototype.
What is clean stuff going to look like? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the level I want to get to as well. Like even guys like after the like guys like KG and
Mm,
and Carl Weber even. Like Carl
yeah,
Weber's a funny guy. KG as well. KG once told me that he speaks to himself for 45 minutes every day and he records it.
that's a good idea.
Just speak. You're like, doesn't matter what you're saying.
Mm,
Then you will try and then he listens back and then he thinks, okay, this sounds funny, this can be worked on, this is little maybe be thrown out, maybe this not be used at all.
mm.
So for 45 minutes every day, like I've tried it, I can get maybe to 3 minutes speaking to myself. Like speaking to yourself for 45 minutes is a long time. And, and KG does it every day. And that's what makes him such a great comedian.
Yeah,
So it also trains your brain to say things
exactly,
like after a while you just start saying funny things.
exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, that's how it just keeps going and going and going. And you grow as a thinker and as a comedian and a public speaker even, because when you speak to nobody, you basically in your head all the time.
Mm, yeah.
And getting those words out just helps with the flow of things,
Mm.
which is great.
Yeah, I was also given some great advice by Barry Hilton, who once told me, if you're struggling to write, try this: write a joke a day, just one joke. Don't pressure yourself, because that's what happens even with me. I'm guilty of it, where I'll be like, okay, I need to write something, and I sit down, and my mind is just going all over the place, and I'm like, cool, I haven't written one joke. I want to write like five today. Right,
Yeah,
like because you start thinking, oh, I need to write a set. I need to write like five
yeah,
minutes worth of material, and that's like a few jokes. That's not one.
yeah,
But Barry was like, you're gonna create like a complex situation in your head. Just simplify it. Write one joke. Focus on one joke. And if you write one joke a day, in 7 days you have a 7 minute set or a five
yeah,
minute set, depending on the joke.
yeah,
In 2 weeks you have almost a 10 minute set. In 3 weeks you have 15, and so on and so forth. Eventually, if you do it every day, if you write one joke every day for 365 days, you have a one man show.
yeah,
And he said the moment you start doing it that way, it becomes a whole lot simpler. And
yeah,
I've been trying it. I haven't been keeping up with every day, but I've been trying it. And definitely, the moment you put that less bit of pressure,
yeah.
your creativity starts to flow. But I don't know if you're like me. I will say this: there is one flaw in both of those situations. Um, Sometimes I wake up and I feel funny. Do you ever get that feeling? Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
Yeah.
I've, it happens often actually. Well, not often as I would like, but it happens like was by like
At
the
least
time
once a week.
at least once a week, yeah,
Yeah,
at least once a week.
exactly.
And then
And
the time I go to bed and it's gone. But yeah, it happens.
it's weird, but like I'm trying to, when I wake up and I feel that way that day, that's what I'm trying to start with. That's
Yeah,
I'm trying to remind myself that if I wake up on a day and I just feel funny, it's a weird feeling too. It's almost like I don't know if it's the same for you. It is going to be embarrassing now, but
no, totally, 100%, dude. I get totally get it. You just feel good, man. Just you have like your favorite songs in your head, and you're like, fuck, this day is gonna be awesome. Till like 9:30, and then it's like gone. But yeah, like Yeah. Mm, mm. Yeah, it takes a long time, and like what we see on TV, what we see when comedians do 45-minute hour specials. First of all, they've been doing comedy for a very long time. And second of all, they probably have been working on that hour set for many, many years. And it takes a long time to get to that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just told that my sound was lost. Sorry about that. I basically just said it takes a very long time to write material. I've been working on my one man show for almost 10 years, and I'm thinking about filming. I had it called Crossing the Borders, but I'm thinking about filming something else now. Uh, South Africa's American, and then Crossing the Borders will be its own thing. Um,
Very cool.
yeah, so I hope the sound is back. I'm still can't hear a word, but we'll see. It should be fine now. I fixed it. They could hear you though. It's
Oh, okay.
just me. Cool. So I think yes, we are pretty much halfway through, and we have a few viewers. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget that if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I interview comedians almost every night. Tonight we have Sneh Gladla on the show. Very funny guy.
Very funny guy. Very talented as well.
Yeah,
Musically,
actor, singer,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
writer, flippin' director, comedian. He's a fantastic, such a nice guy as well. I'm looking forward to tonight's show at 8:30 p.m. Sneh, you don't want to miss it. I don't know if he's going to do anything weird or funny. Not funny. He's going to be funny. I mean, weird because sometimes he plays like a guitar and stuff. So I don't know if he's going to do anything like that. But we'll have a nice chat with him. We'll talk about his very successful career. He's an award-winning actor, all that stuff. So please subscribe. Please like this video. Okay, cool. They can hear me now. Thank you, Beth, for that, for helping me out with that. Cool, so we're going to play the interrogation game. For those of you that are watching and are new to my channel, this is a game that I play with every performer where I and the performer are going to present 3 statements. One of the statements is a lie, and it is my, or in this case, Adrian's responsibility to interrogate one another to find out which one is the lie. Now, we'll do this one by one. So I will go first so that you have a feel for what's going on. So I will interrogate you about your statements, and I'll have 2.5 minutes to interrogate you. I will keep you updated with the time as it goes by. And yeah, so let's bring up your statements. Here we go. We've got yes. There they are. Sorry about that. So
No
these
problem.
are Adrian's statements. Number 1. I'll only start the timer after I'm done reading these. Number 1. I have a portrait tattoo of Snoop Dogg. You have a portrait tattoo of Snoop Dogg. That's number 1. Number 2. I once ran a marathon. And number 3. I own a clothing label.
Yeah.
Okay. The L is missing there, but it's fine. Cool. So, 2.5 minutes starts now. What's your clothing label called?
That's going to give it away. Called Cante Blanc clothing.
That doesn't give it away. I don't know.
Cante Blanc. It's called Cante Blanc.
Okay. When did you run this marathon?
Uh, 2012.
Was it a summer marathon or a winter marathon?
Autumn, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He flipped the switch on me. Beth asked a very good question. Thank you, Beth. I have 1 minute and 40 seconds. Show us the tattoo.
Again, actually.
Show it.
Okay, just hold on. I'll just get my.
Okay. Well,
Can you see?
no, you need to move a little bit more to the right or left. I'm not sure. Yeah, keep moving that way. More. Other way. Yeah, there we go. 1 second. Okay, so he's got a tattoo of Snoop Dogg. So we know one is true.
Yeah.
So it's either the marathon or the label. What marathon was it? Beth is being awesome. These are great questions, Beth.
The two oceans.
Oh man, that was quick.
Yeah.
Beth, what do you think it is? I've got 50 seconds left. Two oceans. Do you believe him? I don't know. That's a very popular marathon though. It was in autumn. Two oceans. Isn't two oceans in spring though?
It's in March, in like Easter week, or whenever Easter is, like Easter weekend.
Maybe it's autumn. Damn. How successful is your clothing label?
Not very. It's still very young. It's like maybe 6 months old.
Okay, so that's not the lie. Which one is not the lie? 13 seconds, Beth. I feel like Beth and I are playing good cop, bad cop very badly. Okay. 4 seconds. I gotta choose. Beth, just give me a number and I'll go with it because I'm gonna go. Beth is a mom of two, so she's got that whole instinct of, I can tell when you're lying. Yeah. So I'll wait for her to. I'll go with what I feel, but I'm gonna wait for Beth. I feel that. Yeah, I feel that the marathon is a lie. That's how I feel. I think that it's an autumn, fine. You know about the Two Oceans marathon as well. That doesn't mean that you actually participated in it. Maybe you were supporting someone. I don't know. I can't ask it. That's actually a very good point, Beth. She says it was canceled thanks to COVID, but he didn't. He said it was an old marathon. It was back in the day. So. Okay. 3. I'm gonna go 3.
So that's the marathon. What was 3 again?
The clothing label.
No, I actually do own the clothing label. The marathon was a lie.
Damn it! I should have gone with my instinct.
I worked at the Two Oceans in 2012. I worked there as part of the.
I knew it.
At the thing and like making announcements and shit and doing stuff. But yeah, that's my clothing. Yeah.
Okay. See, it was just cut off on the frame, so that's why when you said it was going to give it away, I was like, is he wearing it?
Yeah.
I couldn't see.
I own the clothing label. I started it about late last year, making hoodies and T-shirts and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Well, we lost Beth. But it's fine. Now Beth gets to help you find out what is the lie for my statements. So. Okay, cool.
So it's 2 minutes, right?
2.5.
Okay, cool.
I'll keep you updated. All right, so here are I'm going to read the statements. Once you got them in your head, then you can let me know, and then I'll start the time. I once gave my McDonald's meal to someone in need. Statement number 2. I have a medal in dodgeball. And then the third one is I once had a physical fight with an audience member.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
2.5 minutes starts now.
Where was the fight? Was it at a gig or
It was at a gig? Yeah.
What? Okay, and what gig was it?
It was a gig I was running in Brackenfell.
Okay. Hmm. Um, where do you give the Big Mac to the person in need? Was it at the traffic lights
Yeah,
or?
it's traffic lights.
Um, I kind of think that the dodgeball one. Do you have a medal in dodgeball?
Yep.
Hmm. When did you get the medal?
Shit. 2008, 2017? 2017, I think.
Were you in South Africa? Oh no, you were in South Africa at that time. Dodgeball's not very big in South Africa.
No, it's not.
And wow. Was it a big guy that you fought, or was it a small guy? Was it like a evenly matched fight?
It was a last man standing match. So basically, you start off in a, like if you're 50 people, you're split into two teams of 25, for example, and then you keep throwing balls and you try and dodge them until eventually you're left with one guy standing.
Oh,
Yeah, you have a minute and 10 seconds.
and the fight in Brackenfell, was it? How did it happen? Was it the drunk guy? Was it a sober guy? Was it the big guy, a small guy?
Obviously, it was a drunk guy, kind of big, boer kind of guy. He basically, Martin Davis was headlining, and I was trying to protect Martin Davis because he got a bit, Martin Davis.
Ah,
He doesn't give a fuck. Um, 45
okay.
seconds.
Um. Wow. I'm gonna go with the dodgeball one. I think the dodgeball one's the lie.
Okay. I am going to give you some of the comments so
Yeah.
that maybe that will help you.
Yeah.
So we have D Questioner who's joined. That's Sebastiano Ola. Thank you, buddy, for joining. Please go check out D Questioner, by the way. He runs his own YouTube channel. It's gaining quite a lot of traction where he talks about interesting and controversial things. It's called Trigger Weekly. I always mess up the name. Trigger Weekly Noise, I think, or something like that. Just leave your name of the channel in the comments, Sebastiano. Um, Dodge. Okay, so Beth says dodgeball is easy to get medals, so could be true. And she says, she says easy to get medals. That's all the help you have. Um, so
Look, I know you as a very nice guy, Joe. So I know you would give your burger away, and I
okay.
know you would not be in a fight, even if you're trying to protect somebody. You'll try and stop the fight, but you won't. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking because dodgeball's not that big in South Africa, I think it's the dodgeball one.
So you think dodgeball's the lie?
I think dodgeball's the lie.
Okay, you would be wrong. Number
Oh,
three is the lie. What?
oh, damn.
Which
I
is
was
the
close.
physical fight one.
Yeah.
You're right. I would protect, but the fight never happened. So.
Yeah. Okay. Because I've seen fights at comedy shows. That's why I'm like, oh fuck, it could
Uh,
actually have happened. But I've seen some shit at comedy. Yeah.
yeah, the medal that was true. What I told you, it was a last man standing match, and
Okay.
I that was actually a very controversial win because what happened was it was me. It was down to me and this other guy who had been. He's been playing dodgeball for like I think at the time 3 4 years, and
Oh wow.
I had just started. And you're right, dodgeball is very small. It's very small, but you must search for dodgeball SA if you guys want to know more about
Okay.
dodgeball and stuff like that. They're really cool people, and I used to commentate for them. And there's one time I decided to play, and Beth, actually, that speaking about dodgeball, when this is all over and we hopefully get back to normal, I would highly recommend that you look dodgeball SA up because they are in Joburg. They have a branch in Joburg. They have a branch here, and it might be fun for the kids. It's a very very fun family thing. But moving on, this guy he's part of the team. He's actually part of the national South
Yeah.
African dodgeball team. Yes, there is one.
Wow. Oh.
And it was me and him. And obviously, as it works, if you get hit by the ball, you're eliminated. But if you catch the ball, you're safe, and that person who threw it is out. But so what had happened was I was worried that he was going to catch it, so I knew I had to throw it hard,
Yeah.
right? And he also obviously wanted to. There's something called a fake out, which is where you act like you're throwing it hard, but you actually throw it soft.
Yeah.
And because usually the guy will flinch and then the ball will hit. So he tried that, and I threw at the same time really hard. I was on target, and his just like, oh my word, it looked like he hit me from the audience point of view. But luckily, he wasn't too. He was a really good sport, and he
Yeah.
was honest, and he said, "No, no, 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 it never touched Joe. It was so close. It literally, like, if this is my leg, the ball was like
Yeah.
that. Like, it was like." And he was honest. He was like, "No, no, no, it never touched Joe. He won fair and square because nobody could believe that this guy got beat by me, who's a newbie."
Yeah. It's an African champion, dude.
So yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, I'll check them out. Dodgeball seems interesting. I like the movie. So,
Yeah, that's how they also they use the movie to their advantage. I always say like, oh, you know the movie, then it's pretty much the same thing. And yeah, they've done quite well for themselves. They were part of the South African. Sorry, they're part of the African dodgeball nation champion, whatever you call it, League of Champions. So there is that. There's like a whole, dude. You have no idea. Like we yes, dodgeball is very small in South Africa, but in Japan, China, America, and England, Nigeria, Cameroon, they have like national teams.
wow.
So there's and Egypt as well. Egypt is at the moment the champions for the African Cup of Nations for dodgeball. And last year we had the African Cup of Nations for dodgeball in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
It was held in Stellenbosch.
Very cool.
So yeah, unfortunately, they don't get enough media attention and stuff like that, but they're really
Yeah.
cool, so you must check them out.
Oh, definitely. Good.
Um,
Seems like fun. Like I've never played dodgeball, to be honest with you. I've seen it on TV, but I've
yeah,
never really played it. So I would like to check it out. It could be interesting.
it's very interesting,
Mm.
especially if you have any kids.
No, I don't have kids though. Not right now.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 40, dude. I'm 40 years
What?
old. Away. I turned
What?
40 at the beginning of the year.
What?
Yep. True
I was
story.
I was gonna say maybe 35,
Oh,
36.
thanks, man. Thanks.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm 40 years old.
Maybe I'm just a bad judge of age.
No, a lot of people think that. It's not just you.
Oh, okay,
Well, not
good.
a lot of
All
people. Maybe you, one of three. But, but um,
Yeah, like 40.
I've
Damn.
aged well. Yeah, I'm 40 years old. I started comedy late, man. It took me a while to get here.
I've always said that it's never too late to start comedy, and I think that the later you start comedy, the better. To be honest, because you have so many stories and so much
Yeah.
life experience to talk about. You know, especially those with kids. I think there's so much that they can talk about in their life. 40. Wow, you've started. You know what? Maybe it's a colored thing because Carl Weber is also 40, and
Yeah, he's
I am
43.
yeah, he's 43.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
He looks flippin' good for his age.
Mm.
Like, flippin' good. Like, I thought he was also like 36. I think it's something with your genes, man. I don't know. Are you guys related?
All that mixtures and stuff is going on. It has happened since back in the day till now. It's good. Yeah, like also, I take care of myself though. Like I take care of my skin and I have like a facial thing that I do, like moisturize and so you got to take care of yourself to look like you're not dying of old age every day. So yeah.
Cool. Now I just want to read some of the comments here.
Cool.
The questioner says basically dodgeball meets Dragon Ball. Now he's just trolling me.
Yeah.
But thanks, Sebastiano, for tuning in. Beth says Cyril's doppelganger just parked next to me. Never mind, he just took his mask down to make a call, and he has a mustache. Wow. So when he was like this, he looked like Cyril, and then
It was some other thing.
that's funny. Okay, cool. So let me ask you this question: do you have the most embarrassing gig story?
Oh yes, I do. I
Cool.
do
Tell us about
definitely.
it.
Um, So I was part of the whole Savannah newcomer showcase a few years ago at Cape Comedy Club.
Hmm.
Cape Town Comedy Club is it's one of those rooms where every newbie wants to play at. It's amazing, whatever. And I go there. I was maybe halfway through the lineup. I was in the middle somewhere, and the crowd was great. The crowd was like they were really warming up to the new guys or whatever. And I get Kurt Schooner upstairs, and he tells me, okay, they the crowd's nice and warm, but to keep them there, start with your strongest joke first, your strongest gag first. Do that one first. And I did it, and nothing, dude. Like in a warm room, nothing. And I don't, Cape Town Comedy Club. It's a big room. I could just see that silence roll back, and it was just getting darker and darker and darker. And then the barman at the back of the room just did this.
No, man.
And that was my first. That was in the first 30 seconds of my set, and I saw that like maybe 3 minutes left, and I was struggling. I was trying to do crowd work. Oh, it was horrible. And I just went back up the stairs, came down the other side, and went out the door. Now I just couldn't do it anymore. It was terrible.
Hey, man.
And I've never been back ever since, actually. So,
Oh, shit.
well, I've been to watch, but I haven't been to play. So, yeah, that was the worst for me. And there was another one, actually. Also some random gig somewhere where this couple was having an argument in the front row. Like,
What?
yeah, boyfriend and girlfriend, they started fighting in the front row, like arguing with each other, and they were getting louder and louder. And obviously, me, as the new guy, tried to get them to stop and tried to jump in, and they got me involved, and it was almost a fight.
Wait. How did they get you involved, though?
Because I tried to stop them. Like, I tried to stop because I'm doing my set, and they're arguing amongst each other, like in the front row, like literally a meter and a half away from me. And I'm trying to, like, oh, guys, you gotta stop, man. Look at she's crying over. She's crying now. What are you doing? You guys are spoiling the whole show. And the guy's like, no, fuck you. You can't tell me what to do. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm trying to work here. I'm trying to work here. And he's like, no, fuck you. You shit comedian. I was like, fuck you. I'm gonna jump off the stage and kick you in the face. And it was a whole big thing. And I think there would have been a fight if Gino hadn't to call me off. But yeah, that was another embarrassment. Those two stand out for me. Those two. The Cape Town Comedy Club one, where I just saw silence. I physically saw it move through the room. And the other one with this couple was fighting. They were fighting in the front row. I didn't even know what, but this guy was like, no, fuck you. Don't tell me what to do. And I was like, dude, I'm trying to work here. He's like, no, fuck you. You're a shit comedian. And then we got to the thing, and yeah, it was horrible.
Did anything happen after that? I mean, like, so Gino pulls you away. You guys, like, obviously break up. Did they just, like, get up and leave?
They left, yeah. They left immediately as well.
Okay.
I didn't go outside because I knew it was a bit tense. I kind of went out the other way, and they went out the other way, and they kind of disappeared.
So when you started fighting, obviously, and then Gino takes you away, you didn't finish your set.
No, I didn't finish. Wow. Because it just became, because you could feel the atmosphere in the room just became so
tense. Did the show continue?
No, the show continued.
Okay.
I was up first. I was the first, and then this shit happened.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was, I don't remember where it was, though. It was some random
it sounds like
a big gig. Possibly. No, it wasn't Nomad. It was somewhere in the south. Somewhere there. And it was like, I don't know. Anyway, that was it. Like, I was up first, Gino was hosting, and he was like, no, but you can't. And it was terrible.
Shit. Wow, that takes it, man. That definitely is one of the more interesting stories I've heard about a gig that didn't go according to plan.
Yeah, they were like having a full-on argument, like shouting at each other. Like, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is stop? Now she's crying, and I'm on the back. Look what you did. Look what you did. She's crying. He's like, mind your own fucking business. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to fucking work here.
How do you mind your own business? Like that's also like a weird statement to make, because they're in public. They're in public exactly. At a show, at a stand-up comedy show, in the front fucking row. How do you mind your own business? How? I mean, dude, I would have probably done the same thing. I'm not even kidding. Like, I would have pointed them out. I would have been like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're ruining the show. And he would have said, like, mind your own fucking business. I would have been like, you're in a fucking gig. Like,
yeah.
What do you mean, mind my own business?
Yeah, I didn't know how to handle it at the time. I was like, oh, dude, I'm trying to work here and all this.
No, but you're right in even saying that you're trying to. That's the same thing.
Yeah, and he just went at me, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna jump off the stage and kick you in the face. And that's when Gino stopped me, and it's like, Gino just came back and he pulled me off, and I was like, thanks, dude. But
I
yeah,
mean, what if this guy is like a graphic designer, right? And he's like on the computer and he's like focusing and he's designing and he's doing all this stuff, and then you just happen to walk by the office with your goose, and then you just have this fat conversation and this fat argument, and you start throwing things in the office. He's not gonna like that. And
exactly.
then you're like, oh, mind your own business. You're in my fucking office.
You're in my business at the moment.
I don't know. Oh man, that is very interesting. That
Yeah,
is
that was bad.
so weird. Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah,
Um, you should probably talk about that on the
I
stage.
should actually. I should. Um,
Oh man, that's great.
I should. Yeah.
So we got Tracy Lee Wagner has joined us. Hello, Tracy. Thank you for
Yes.
tuning in. She says a lot. She says, "Hi guys, shame. Oh my god, mediator. Don't know why the Me Too is there. And then away.
Away.
They tried to steal your limelight." That's what she says, which is
Probably. Which is
probably.
probably true. Like, people don't care. Like, I don't know if it's education or what it is, but people don't understand how comedy works. They're like, oh, you're up to telling jokes, man, just get on with it. Or
Mm.
I don't get it. I'm still trying to learn that or what it is, or I would love to know what people goes through people's brains when they see somebody up there trying to do some work or
That's a very good point. I must actually also comment on that. Like, it's always been funny to me how some people seem to treat the cinema differently to the theater, differently to a club gig.
yeah,
And for some reason, when it comes to stand up comedy, it seems like a lot of people don't understand, hey, this is a show. It's like going to the theater. You sit
yeah,
down and shut the fuck up, and you listen. And if you
yeah.
don't want to, if you don't want to listen, if you don't want to be there, then there's
Yeah.
many other restaurants. There's many other places.
Nobody's forcing you to be there. I mean, and you're not going to be talking while a guy's playing the guitar or singing or whatever. You're not going to be doing the same thing. You're
Well,
going to shut
sometimes
up.
they are.
Yeah, some people, but I mean, most of the time, people will shut up and listen.
Mm.
But for comedians, it's like a whole different thing. And unless you one of the bigger guys, they'll maybe listen to you. But yeah, it's tough, man. It's weird.
It's a weird one. You're right. I feel like the audience needs to be educated sometimes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely think there needs to be some sort of education somewhere. Like it doesn't, like, and I don't even know if it only happens in this country. I haven't, or in Cape Town specifically.
No,
It's
I
public.
think it happens everywhere.
Yeah,
I think it, I think it depends as well. Like I think for obviously the states, maybe it happens less, but you hear
yeah,
different stories in the states. You hear
yeah,
you hear audience members taking their chances with things. So like getting in and trying not to pay, or like they'll go to a comedy club. They know it's a comedy club, but then they'll say like, "Oh, can't you play music instead?" Like that's.
Oh shit.
That's the kind of stuff. That's stuff that Martin Davis has told me. Like he's told me like so many great stories of like how just weird things happen. I gotta get him back on the show.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's quite because he's been in the industry for 30 years. He's like heard it all. Like
yeah.
people will
Imagine.
will go to the club and like ask for. I mean, even Cape Town Comedy Club.
Yeah,
Um, when they were doing the Entertainer app thing, I
yeah,
think they still do.
yeah.
But was it Entertainer? No, Groupon. Sorry, Groupon. When they were doing Groupon specials, people were coming to the club with Tupperware boxes of food.
Why? That's such a terrible thing to do. It's so. Oh my word. Why? What goes through your mind when you do that?
I can see you're struggling to understand.
Like, I don't get it. I seriously do not get it. And I tried to figure it out, but I just left it after a while because it's too much. I can't read minds. I would love to. I would love to read
Obviously,
someone's minds. Like, I'm gonna go to the comedy club with my own lunch,
yeah,
with my own
it's a
dinner,
picnic.
and then watch somebody try and make me laugh. It's terrible.
Obviously, it's people with a budget, but still, like,
Yeah,
save up.
same up, yeah. And just it's I don't know. I really don't know.
I couldn't believe she told me that. Like, I was like, oh
That's
my word.
weird.
She's like, you have no idea what we deal with. Like, I was like, clearly. Um,
They must have seen some shit as well.
yeah. Even Bruno,
Yeah.
man. Bruno, like the bouncer, he's dealt with some stuff. Like, really. Like, Martin was saying how he threw out 6 people, but he did it smart. So he went to two. There was a table of 6. He went to 2 of them. Said, "Hey, I need you outside." Once they were outside, he went back and got the other 2, and then said, "Oh, the couple's looking for you."
Mm.
And then he did the same with the last 2. And then
Yeah.
when they're all outside, he was like, "You're not going back in.
Yeah.
Pay your bill. Fuck off."
I've also seen Bruno throw like physically
Oh
lift
yeah.
somebody to the ground and throw them out. I've seen because yeah, like Rob van Vieren always says, Bruno is a reformed child soldier. You do not want to fuck with him. He's huge.
He's
And
huge.
I've actually seen him throw somebody out of the club, like physically lift him up and throw them out the door.
Bruno's biceps are like the size of my head. Like this
Yeah.
guy is like he's a Congolese, I think, or
Yeah,
a
Congolese.
Congolese, built like flippin' Terminator. Like he's just like Brock Lesnar vibe. Nicest guy. Like don't get me
Yep.
wrong, he's definitely the nicest bloke, but don't want to get on his bad side.
No, you'll do some damage. He's a
Yeah.
great guy. Like he always shakes your hand when he comes in. How you doing?
He
You great?
remembers you by name. Like that's how awesome he
Yeah.
is.
He remembers you by name. Like even I played there once and I've been going there often and he still remembers my name and who I am and it's been great. It's a great guy to know.
But flip, he will enforce those rules like a
Yeah,
dictator,
easily.
like just loving power.
Yeah.
He what was that? I was gonna say something now. Once, oh yeah, the one time I remember like uh, I just met Bruno and the club had just become like a thing, and he meets me for the first time, and then about a week later I was back at the club, and he remembers my name. He's like, "Hey, Joe, good
Yeah.
to see you," and he puts out his hand, that monstrous freaking
Yeah.
hand, and I'm coming from under, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna shake. He's going high,
Yeah.
and he hits my hand, and he doesn't mean to. He
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
mean to, but my whole body shook.
Yeah.
How's it, brother? Yeah. And I was like, oh, you almost broke me. Thank you.
Oh, you just look at my shoulder when you. Yeah. No, Bruno's an awesome guy.
Jeez, man, we're almost at the end of the hour.
Yeah. It's great, man. I enjoyed it.
It was great. It was good to see you, man. I mean, we haven't seen each other in quite a while.
Yeah.
No open mic nights, no stage time. It really sucks.
Mm.
But I do, like I said, I usually give the guests a moment to say their final thoughts to the audience. So here you go. Here's your chance to
Excuse
say
me.
whatever you want to say.
Yeah, man, like stand-up comedy is great, and I would advise anybody to try it, but also do your research first. Like, go to the shows, check it out for a few times, and it's not as glamorous as people make it out to be. It's hard work. It's such hard work. But yeah, man, if you want to try it, go for it by all means, but don't be cuck. That's the standing rule. Cape Town comedy or Cape Town comedians, don't be cuck. Like, don't be a cuck person. Don't be, don't make cuck jokes. Just don't be cuck in general. And then once you get to a point where you start enjoying it, you'll enjoy it more and more and more every time.
Yeah.
And that's happened to me. So yeah, I'm growing as a comedian, and I hope people would follow me on. Especially, I'm trying some social media stuff now. Like, can I say much? Like, just follow me at AD My Brew. I'll put my name on. I'll send you a name to you. You can share it, Joe, if you don't mind. Or follow me on Twitter, which would be great because I'm trying like jokes and one-liners and things. So because it's tough. Like,
Yeah.
stage time is like our practice, but I can't practice. So
Yeah,
I'm trying
exactly.
online. Yeah. But thanks again for tuning in, and it's been really awesome. Thanks a lot for the support, and thanks a lot to you, Joe, and everybody.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
Cool, ladies and gentlemen, that was Adrian Saayman. Pronounced it correctly there. Adrian, just send me the links to whatever it is you would like people to go to, and I'll leave it in the description below. so people can go check it out. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, also in the description below, you can donate, and donation box is open for the next 48 hours. So by the 16th of May at 11:30, that donation box closes. So if you enjoyed the show, give a few bucks. If not, it's okay. This is just to help my fellow comedians and performers during this tough time. If you can't afford to give money, I understand. It's really tough. At least give this video a like. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm interviewing a whole lot more comedians in the future. And tonight at 8:30, I'm interviewing Sneh Gladla, who is one hell of a funny guy, very talented, award-winning actor, award-winning comedian. So you don't want to miss out on that. All the way from Joburg is going to be joining me tonight at 8:30. So if I don't see you before then, ladies and gentlemen, please, or if I don't see you tonight, stay safe, be good to one another, and I'll see you at the next one.